Let me see. There we go. Oh my gosh, it took a minute. Like, why is it not connecting? Hey, good morning, guys. Tricia Turner here. This is Rise and Thrive. It is Tuesday morning, 9-ish Central Time. This is a podcast that every week we come to you to bring you something positive. Usually we're focusing on the 4 principles that are like super important in my life. Faith, of course, family, fitness, and finances. And so I've got Pearl with me today. We are going to talk a little bit about a couple of those topics. Pearl has been in the real estate industry for some time now. So we're going to hear from her story, and what she's doing and what she's got going on right now. So good morning, Pearl.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tricia, for inviting me onto your show. It's an awesome show.
Thank you.
As well. I follow you. So yes, I'm ready. Let's talk about I've been in real estate for over 10 years. And so been there, done that, done it all. So
let's kind of walk through that. So let's give everybody, let's let everyone know where you are in the world and in your 10 years. So you're doing commercial right now, but I don't think you started in commercial, did you?
Right. Correct.
Okay, let's walk through that.
Well, the whole timeline, huh?
Well, and everybody, she's in Houston with me too, but I'm like on the west side. Pearl, where are you at?
I'm in Central Memorial area, Memorial Villages, Southwest area.
And you have a brick and mortar too, don't you?
Yes, we do have an office located at 10080 Bel Air Boulevard, right at the corner of Bel Air and Beltway 8. So very centralized.
Yeah, I love that location. How long have you been there?
Been there for not. We just got this office whenever we got to switch to Rio.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. And before having this office, did you have another location, like another brick and mortar?
No, I was with another broker.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. Yes. Okay. So 10 years ago, when you got into real estate, why real estate?
Well, I've always had the passion in real estate. I was working at JP Chase as a private client banker. At that time, I just got married, got my second child. And then I was like, I was doing really good. I was having my Series 6 and 63. I was selling investments at JP Chase. I was getting clients, private clients, just that, bring their money in.
Yeah.
That they can invest in mutual funds or stocks. And then I was like, and when the market goes up, we love it and we like everyone's happy. But then when the market goes down, I couldn't find myself like feeling happy for my client, and it's like it's not tangible.
No.
It's something that we can't control. And so I decided to give in my 2 weeks notice, and I was like, I'm gonna go full force in real estate. And at the time, my husband is stable with his business, so I was like, you know what, honey, cover for me for the next year or two. I'm gonna go full force in real estate.
Were you scared?
I was not, because the family support is very important. So my husband supported me, and I told him why I was doing real estate. So that, so that I can help ourselves and our friends and family grow wealth.
Yeah. Because real estate's made a bunch of millionaires it's like, this is crazy that people don't get involved in it.
Yes. So having the mentality, I know that, we all, like everyone, are successful in their business, making the money. But I know that like the millionaire, the multi-millionaire, billionaire multiply their wealth through real estate investment.
Yeah.
And so I knew that that's why I want to go. I want to get to it, and I will do whatever it takes to start from ground up.
So did you go and join one of the big box companies?
No. Well, yes, I started at Century 21.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I was there for a couple, maybe almost a year.
Okay. Yeah. Doing residential sales?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So maybe the first year I sold maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The norm.
I still remember my first paycheck, my first listing, which is my neighbor in my neighborhood. So of course we have to start residential, and that's the only thing that we know. That's
Yeah.
how most agents start out. And I didn't mind going from bottom up and, doing all whatever it takes.
So 10 years ago, Century 21, well, like for one, I'm always like, when I hear Century 21, because it's so old school, I'm like, what? What are you doing at Century 21? Like, or Gary Green, like any of them were so old school. So I'm already thinking, like, how in the world, how did you even end up at Century 21?
It was, how when you were in the real estate school, they come in and they
Oh, yeah.
recruit you
Yeah.
and they talk. And I mean, we didn't know any better, Tricia.
No,
We don't know what we signed up for. And
no,
God, like, so my friend joined and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll go with you. Not knowing anything. So then we didn't know any better. I didn't know. I mean, it wasn't bad. I've learned quite a bit through experience, but it wasn't the value added to where I needed to be.
no. So then where did you go from there?
Then I joined a small boutique firm, local,
Okay.
very close to my current office right now in the southwest of Houston.
Okay.
And I've been there since.
Seriously.
Until recently, when I changed to real.
Wow.
To LPT,
Okay.
and then quickly changed to real. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. So when you switched over to that, how many agents were there at that brokerage?
I wasn't the broker. My friend is a broker at that.
Okay.
Broker. It's a small boutique brokerage called The Realty.
Okay.
It was maybe over 30.
Okay.
But you know how it is. Not many are full time and active.
No.
And I was one of the active full time one.
Okay.
And I went all in. I went all in real estate. I showed houses. I hired 2 assistants at one point. I wasn't the broker, but I did help train a lot of my agent friend that came in.
Yeah.
From doing a lot of marketing and social media. And so all my friends saw and they're like, hey, I want to be a real estate. I'm like, yeah, come on in. So I was training my assistant at the same time training some of my friends as well.
And selling homes.
And selling homes, a lot of
homes. So you transitioned from residential real estate into commercial. What made you do that transition?
Well, as you know, you grow with your clients over the time. So, you grow from your the how I do my business is like one client multiplied to return, repeat, and referral. It goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and it just multiplied from then. Like at the beginning I had 1.
Yes.
So I treat my clients like they're my, like if I didn't want to buy for myself and my family, then I wouldn't advise my clients to buy.
No.
So that's how I grow my business from one at a time, quality over quantity. And so over time, like after help them with residential, then they have a commercial need to buy a building for their business or lease a space for their business. Then I was helping them along the way at the time.
Okay.
I was not focusing solely in commercial until.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you were doing the residential sales, did you find yourself, because you have a banking background, did you find yourself gravitating to like teaching them about investing and how to build like a portfolio in residential real estate?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's my niche. And that's so my clients are like, so they do one and then they will return and repeat and rental property. So I have a good number of clients. Well, not many. It's quality. I have quite a few, but from them, I generate a lot of. I receive a lot of referrals.
Yeah.
And I help them buy a lot of rental properties, and those properties had multiplied and grow over time. And I've proven myself. And so now they're like, hey, when they have some extra money, they're like, hey, Pearl, like, what should I do with this? I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Well, of course, at the past 2 years, it wasn't really a good market to invest. So then I was like, as I do more commercial and how tough it was for the past 2 years to do residential, I was like, you know what? I think I should just focus doing more commercial. And then I like to test it myself before I will advise my client. So then I would wanted to test myself, owning more commercial property myself, then I would help advise my clients.
Yeah. And in all of that mix, you went and got your broker's license too.
Yes, I got my broker license about 4 or 5 years ago. Not
Okay.
because I got my broker license, not because I was doing commercial, Tricia. It was that I just want to be more knowledgeable to help my clients. I
Yeah.
also sit in loan class, in loan originating class, but I didn't find a need to get my loan license. But
Yeah.
like just me, I like to be more more informed and more up to date so that I can better serve my clients to help negotiate to
Oh,
help them
yeah.
get their money.
Well, I like it look at it like this, because I have my broker's license too. There's such a differentiating factor between a broker and a real estate agent because it takes, 10 times the amount of hours to get your broker's license, number one, and production. And like there's so much that goes into it. And I think it's like a doctor. You can be a general practitioner or you can be a specialist, board certified, it's like a huge
Yeah,
difference.
it's like a degree. I mean, I got my my undergrad at UT. So yeah, I was telling my agents in my group that like, hey, having a real estate agent is, I think, it's easy to get your real estate
It
license.
is.
I mean, it's easy to get your license, but being able to proven that you're able to close and you're able to make a business out of real estate is extremely difficult.
Yeah, it is.
People can do it. And so having a broker license, you have to prove that, like you said, you have to prove how many number of hours, how many transactions you've sold, how many commercial property, how many, like all different diverse
Oh, yeah.
to qualify to sit in to take the broker's license. So yeah, I just want to get it just to have it. It wasn't because I wanted to. I was still having broker license and still with my broker friend.
Yes.
Yes.
And
No,
most people
but
think like
in,
when you get a broker's license, then you're doing it to go open your own brokerage, but that
no,
wasn't your case.
no, yeah, but that's what everybody thinks. Because
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, but no, I was still with my broker friend, still paying her the split. Because
Yep.
to me, it's we are independent agents. No matter what broker you're with, no matter where you go,
Yeah.
you are still self-employed.
Oh, yeah.
You're still responsible for your own marketing, your own everything. So it doesn't matter. So I like stability. I didn't like change. And so
Okay.
that's why
No,
I've been with her for almost 10 years, my friend.
which is a long time. Like most agents change. There's a lot of them that change
Mhm.
every year, which is crazy.
I
Like,
know.
why?
I know. And it's a normal thing in real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like you, it's like once you establish like a pattern and like your branding is done, like everything is done, like it's expensive, number one, to change. And you get into a routine where it's like, why would I change? Like it's not broken, What made you change that? Because then you did change.
Yes, I did change. So haven't seen, a lot of realtors come and go in my friend's brokerage. They come in, they go, and I saw the dynamic. That was the reason why I didn't want to sponsor anyone, be anyone's broker. Was the reason. So agent would like, they don't have the right mentality going to this business, and they're expecting leads from the broker. They're
Yes.
expecting hand given and like it wasn't like a lot didn't have the right mentality.
Yeah.
And as I said, I was like, you know what, just because real estate is a low investment business to get in does not mean it's easy to succeed, to make.
No.
So then after a long time, like my friend, she would get so tired of these immature newbie agents, and so she would stop accepting them. And I still have a lot of agent friends that wanted to join the brokerage. They want to learn from me, want to be like,
Yeah.
want to join my group. And so, but my broker friend didn't want to accept any newbie at that time. So
Wow.
I was referring them to my other broker friends or other teams to take them,
Yeah.
and I couldn't. And I was also busy doing my own investments as well, and my children are still young, Tricia.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, I I needed to be with my children. Like
Yeah.
we can't. At one point, I was producing so much, and I forgot to attend one of my daughter's event, and that made
Oh,
me so
yes.
sad. But yes, so
That didn't feel good, did it?
so yeah, there's a lot of so many moving parts in real estate. It's like, oh my god, like so much,
Yeah.
like so then from my broker friend. So then eventually one day I was like, hey, it's time to change. And my kids are now in a good school. They're a little older now. And I'm ready to go back to real estate, like full force. Cause I was kind of idle and doing like my own thing and not taking new clients in for
Yeah.
4 years
Okay.
before I started LPT this
Wow.
December. Yeah. I was just doing my own investment and my house got flooded from the freeze. I wanted more, spend more time with my children, be there for them. So all the new client I refer to my colleagues. I
Okay.
take a little less than just make the small referral fee.
Yeah.
And then recently, like my children in school, they're older, they're able to stay, and after school activity wasn't like included at the school
Yep.
where I picked them up early. So I decided to go back to real estate full time. And I was telling my friend, like, hey, let's shop for a system because it's not going to work. Like, being a small local boutique, you got to be responsible for all the paperwork and contract and an agent. And she was fed up with it. And that's why
I bet.
never want to be anyone's broker.
No.
Responsible for everything that is, a lot of everything that they do. She got like served. It was a headache.
It is a headache.
And I was like so sad. So I was like, you know what? I never had the intention to get my broker license to be anyone's broker or sponsor anyone. So I was like, hey, let's shop for a system. So, throughout the whole entire time, 10 years, you've seen it. I don't know if you've been with EXP as well, right, Tricia?
Yeah, I was there for 5 years. Oh yeah.
Yes. So I've seen EXP from like I'm like, oh my God, get away from me.
Oh yeah.
To where it is to like a really great brand today. And a lot of my friends like made so much money in revenue share. And they're not a broker,
No.
They didn't
And they have no responsibility.
Yeah. And so like seeing EXP brand grew and the system worked. So then me and my friend looked at EXP. We looked at LPT. I didn't look at Real at the time because I was clouded with LPT and their listing, which is awesome. That really attracted me, the listing power toolbox, because I'm a listing focus.
Yeah, same.
I would be like go after listings all day long.
So that little marketing box is what like got you?
Yes, I did most
crazy.
The whole time. I wasn't from, a lot of my friends are from EXP. I didn't know about revenue share. I didn't know anything about that to compare, Tricia.
Okay.
I didn't know. So then I joined LPT for the listing power toolbox, and I did.
So, okay, that I'm like that. I saw that. So we went to one of their presentations because we always need to see what's out there, right?
Uh-huh.
And I saw that listing toolbox, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that too. But then I just started dissecting it, and I was like, well, there's only this number of postcards, and there's this many things of this, and how often are people actually going to use it? And I looked at the model as well because we had already left EXP and we're with Real. And a lot of it didn't make sense to me. But of course, I had been at EXP for 5 years. And so we had recently switched over to Real at that time. We had probably been at Real only like 3 months when we looked at the LPT presentation. And it was just to see what was out there. But after seeing it and being where I have been and where we are now, it's like, there's no comparison. But for you, how long were you there at LPT, and what ended up happening?
It was like, so I joined. I mean, don't get me wrong, the listing power toolbox brought some, like, impressed a lot of my sellers that I brought to the listing appointment, but it wasn't the key point why they hired me as an agent. It was experience, what I can offer, and my negotiation skill and everything. Basically, I was selling myself. The listing power toolbox was just extra. Right. And so my whole entire group, the reason why we switched was because of the revenue share. That was about that reason. Yeah. So, which I didn't think I loved that much, and I really do love the revenue. Yes. So yeah, I remember I didn't come from EXP to know what to compare, to understand revenue share, to understand about having downlines. So then being with LPT I joined since this November. this past November, LPT, I was like doing all my research. I'm the type that read like every single word on the contract. And I mean, like, but I was reading it, but I really had nothing to compare to.
No.
It was, yeah, I read everything. So then my whole group, the leader was over about 3 months in, because we have a 90 days revenue share probation period at LPT.
Okay.
You don't get it right away. You have to be in for at least 90. It was 120 days. I think they lowered to 90 days.
Okay.
Whenever they open in Texas. So they just opened, LPT just opened in Texas this past year.
Wow. Okay.
And it's not public yet, so everything's still new.
Yeah.
And so after about 3-4 months in, when all these leaders that my uplines, they know what they're doing, because they've been with EXP, and they know what it is. So they're like,
Yeah.
hey, let's get on a call with Robert Palmer. We wanted to talk about this, because this is not right. When they see the revenue share, they flipped, because
So did they actually get revenue share?
they didn't. So the revenue share, and I didn't know this either. And I also, it happened to me, because so we have a cap of 15,000. If you want, so with LPT, if you want to receive revenue share, you have to be on a $15,000 cap on an 80-20 split. Now, there's also another model that was really popular. That is the reason why LPT got popular, is the $500 flat fee.
Okay.
195 transaction fee, which equivalent to about almost 7,000.
Okay.
Right. So then the people that are on the 80-20 split have not meet their revenue share, their cap yet.
Okay.
Receive revenue share. So they would be at like maybe 10,000, but then they would receive the revenue share like 5,000, and they don't get it because that 5,000 goes towards a cap.
Oh my gosh.
Which everyone did not know.
No.
They did not know. They flipped.
I bet.
What? Like, their revenue share. So we got on a call with the CEO and, kind of address our concern. And he did change some things that he could change, but he couldn't change this main part, because the company hasn't gone IPO, and changing something this dramatic will affect the IPO date. And so he didn't change this. And so my upline, the leader, just like, hey, so they've been shopping, and they've been looking at like other system like Real.
Yeah.
And so this time around, they have to be more careful, right?
Yes.
And so the whole group switched. And I had to wait a little bit. I was like, let me wait. I had to negotiate something for my downline. And then I recently switched a month ago, a little bit more than a month.
So you've only been with Real a little bit over a month.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's how I met her, you guys, because we're a Real branch office. And it's like, holy crap. When I heard your story, I'm like, oh, we have to talk about this, because there's like so many, and especially in the market that we're in right now and have been for the last 2 years, it's like every dollar counts, period,
Yes.
that is coming in and going out.
Yes.
I was talking to, I don't even remember who it was. It was so every Monday we do our sales meeting, and we have agents out in the hub, and they stay usually all day, and they're making calls. And I was talking to one of them yesterday, and I don't remember who it was, but she had been at an independent brokerage, kind of like you. And I said, I just don't get that. I had one. I had my own. It's like, I understand the drama that goes along with that, and the expenses and the headache and all the responsibility. It's not fun. And honestly, it's so old school. Like, when you look at the world and with AI and technology, no independent broker can keep up with that. There's just no way.
Oh yeah. So having this extra revenue share helps a lot, where as uplines, you can use it towards marketing and and sponsor, or help give back and help agents grow. And
you can.
Great.
And I think you become their mentor. You become the person that helps be responsible to help agents that are in your organization be successful. Because that's what I do every Monday. I'm out there, I'm pouring into them, taking time off my own calendar, off my own schedule to give back because no one ever did it for me. And when you look at like real estate, when I first joined EXP, which was in 2018, so a long time ago, I didn't know anything about that model. I was coming from my own company. And so I learned about what is revenue share and why. And at the end of the day, it's like, people started giving everyone a bad rap saying, oh, they're just a recruiter. Actually, it's not a recruiter. It's just bringing people into your world and then doing life with them and doing business with them and training them, which
Yeah.
is what we do in all things,
It
every
has,
business.
the system at first, because people didn't understand the model and the system, which I'm one of them. I didn't quite understand. But
Yeah.
then now, like being in it, I was like, hey, you know what? It's like a win-win. You trying to get agents in, and then you help them to help you when they produce what they have to produce. When they
Yes,
produce, you make a little bit of revenue share, and so it's in your incentive to help them succeed. And it's a great model. Like I
it
love it.
is.
Yeah.
So when you made the switch over, when you were leaving LPT, did you ever look at EXP? Like maybe we should go there?
I did. I remember when I was switching from my with my friend, me and her, we did look at EXP. I mean, I have a lot of friends and agent at EXP. We did look at it, and at the time, a lot of our downlines, our agent didn't want to pay for the monthly fee.
Yeah.
And I know at EXP there was a monthly fee of
Yep.
like dollars and a bunch of technology fee and all of that. And this past 2 years, the market is tough
Yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
agent. Not a lot of them are like producers, and
Right.
so having say that $100 a month, it's a lot for them. So
It is.
as a group, we decided that we didn't want to do EXP, and also the market was too saturated,
Yep.
Tricia. I mean, if I was to decided to change, like I don't like change, but if we decided to change, and if I decided to change, it has to be something new, great.
Yeah.
I like to, like I like something new, I
Well, you can help shape it and grow it,
okay, exactly. So then LPT was a good candidate at the time, and I didn't look at Real, and I should have, because I didn't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it was EXP or LPT at the time
Okay.
too, and because I didn't know more about system. So when we switched over, so I was doing great. I mean, I'm like I said, the agent who do great will do great anywhere, no matter
Yes.
what.
Yeah.
So I was still doing my thing, producing. And so when the group decided to switch, I was like, hey, I'm going with you. You're not gonna leave me alone, right? So I was like, okay, let's go. And knowing that you and I know about you, Tricia. You're a really great broker. Like
Thank you.
I've heard about you for so long. In fact, my other broker friend did mention about you and recommended it, but I was like really like clouded with LPT and EXP at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we switch, and uh, that's what we do. And now here we
How
are.
many agents did you end up switching with, Pearl?
So, oh yeah, so at LPT, I had about almost 30 or 30 plus.
Which
And
is a lot.
I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate being myself over the year and knowing my nature. Like when I come across an agent on a transaction, like I'll do what I can to help if they're new.
Yeah.
So
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
over, being doing real estate for so long, like I do have some, agent friend that like to be with me or know
Yep.
me already. And so as they were looking to switch, they asked, so they want to join with me, and I'm very lucky and very fortunate. So when I switched over to Real, and that was the reason why I took my time. I had to think about it, and I had to talk to each agent one by one, and I didn't
Yeah.
have time. Not all went to Real with me. They couldn't. But like, so then I went over to Real again, start all over again, having 30 something, because I wasn't I mean, kind of like we said, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, like Pearl has been with this company for 10 years. Now she's switching and now she's just switching. And like, it didn't look
It
good.
happens
I had
though.
ability.
I know.
But I had to do what I had to do.
Yes.
I thought about it really hard, asked my husband for his opinion, then I switched. So when I switched, I was all by myself again, just like at LPT. I started just by myself.
Which is crazy.
I know. Like basically when I left my broker friend and started by myself with having no office, no agent, it was like, oh my God, like I feel a little homeless.
I bet. Like, what have I done?
And so it just all of a sudden I got on a very good team.
Yeah.
Because me and her, we had worked together in the past and we like each other. And so
Yeah.
she was from EXP. So she joined me at LPT, her and her team. So from then on, I gained the traction to grow to 30 something agent.
Which is fast.
Yes, because her team alone is already half.
Okay.
But check this out. When I switched to Real, and there was reason why she wanted to join with me, but there was reason why Real couldn't pay for half of the rent like LPT did.
Okay.
So what I did was at LPT I negotiated with Robert Palmer, us and the leaders of the upline for her for LPT to pay for half of the rent to become an LPT hub.
Really?
And so that's why I told you when all my upline switched to Real, I had to wait for her to negotiate the with Real, like, hey, we're
yeah.
but then I understand why Real couldn't do that because they like the cap is 12,000 instead of 15.
Right.
And the revenue share is so much more. You get revenue share instantly instead of waiting. Like, so then they couldn't offer.
No.
So she ended up staying. So now I'm
really,
Tricia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she ended up staying, of course, and I understand. It's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, like she likes stability, and she's like, I know the revenue share will make up more than that half rent, but at the point right now, she likes stability, so she stay, and that's okay.
Oh gosh.
Then I'm going again.
Yes.
Starting over again. So luckily, I joined Real, and I had another really good team who switched from EXP to LPT, and then he switched to Real, the unparalleled team.
Okay.
And so that they're there. And then some of my downline from LPT also moved with me. So I've lost the other team, but I gained another team.
Yeah. And there's probably going to be a time when she moves anyway, I would imagine.
I mean, the thing about real estate, like we can still always collaborate.
Oh yeah.
By the end of the world, like it doesn't really matter who you're with. Always, be kind, treat each other with respect and nice. You never know that you will collaborate on a transaction, because I don't know, like that's a good topic you brought up, because a lot of my agent friend complained to me that they would be leaving a broker, and the broker like really had a fit about it.
Oh yeah.
Which I understand why, like putting so much effort and investment in these new agents. So then whenever they're they self-sufficient, they would just, hey, bye, I'm gonna go to a flat.
Yes. But you have to think of it like, I always look at like the future and the way that it's going, especially now, the last 2 years, where if you're only basing your income on transactions, you definitely have felt this the last 2 years, because your income is definitely less than what it was. And this is a whole different opportunity with virtual brokerages, where you can build, not only locally, but nationally, and you can help everyone grow together, and you gain financially from it, all of it.
The revenue share. So then right away, so I never got a taste of the revenue share. No. I have not capped. So whatever revenue share I received, I didn't get it. So recently, this first month I joined with Real, Tricia, I saw I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was amazing. And it was like, it wasn't even like, I'm not even their broker. I didn't like,
Right.
like they were just producing. I ended up like, onboarding the Unparalleled team, and they are like producers. And I received instant great revenue share from it.
Yep.
Amazing. And
It
so
helps your family.
yes, and that money, I use that money to also like, hey, like print some marketing material, give back to the group,
Yeah.
and do more marketing.
Yep.
It's nice. And so
And
yeah,
then you went and got an office.
yes, an office. I mean, we had to have an office. I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking as I was switching. I was like, you know what, I need my own office.
Mhm.
When I got the LPT hub, oh yes, I had to move again. 6 months. So I told you I was kind of like feeling homeless. I was by myself starting LPT
I
and
bet.
team, and then I negotiate the hub for that team, and then yay, finally in the office. 6 months later, switch to real, reset again, and had to get my own office again. So luckily, me and Ken, we were looking at the office like, hey, let's just get another office. So we did.
Yeah.
So that's why it's reset. Um, but yes, the revenue share, and I totally agree with you, Tricia. Um, we cannot like do like showing houses and do. We are independent contractors,
Mhm.
self-employed, and we can't be showing house forever.
No.
We
No.
can't, we
No. There are people that do, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. But if that's not what you want to do and you want to go build and do more and be more, then you can't do that. You can't be limited to that.
yeah. So having this extra um, income, stream of income, really
Yeah.
helps because you never know, you can attract a superstar,
Yes.
and they will grow themselves, just like how I've attracted this team, and they're just like growing on their own. And I'm
Right.
here to support them to grow and
Yep.
grow. But yeah, so the extra income, I think we need, and we all, I'm
We
I'm
do.
I'm all about residual, because I build portfolio of rental property, commercial property for myself and
Yep.
my clients.
Yeah.
So like having that is great. Now seeing the revenue share, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome too. You could be building, and it will build itself, and you will make a lot of money, more,
Yes.
way more than transaction.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's like a pathway to financial freedom,
Yeah.
and so many people don't realize that. They tell you that one of the keys to financial success or freedom is to figure out like what is your monthly burn rate? Like what do you need in bills every single month? And when you can build passive income or residual income, whatever you want to call it, to where it actually covers your required bills every month, that is when you look at building wealth. And so many people don't realize that they're on this transaction hamster wheel. And it's like some months you're going to do really good. And in a down market that we've been in for 2 years, you may not. It's
Right.
like,
If you do transaction wise, like, and you saw how the market changed and shift significantly the past few years, from the low
oh, yeah.
interest rate
Oh, yeah.
sellers market to like, oh my God, like buyers market, and then the NAR settlement, it, drastic change.
We're getting hit like one thing after another. It's like, okay, that's enough.
Yes, storm. I mean, it's like one after another. Having just like our real estate, small, like a change rate, and having the all the natural like storms and all
Yeah.
that, and then like all of that. So
So then when you were looking at like your path and what you wanted to do, is that when you kind of pivoted and you're like, you know what, I want to do commercial full time?
oh yes, that's right. So yeah, because the market was tough, and having me, I like challenge.
Yeah.
I was getting really burned out of residential. That's why I took a break about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Having being top producers, sold over 200 transactions myself.
Yep.
I was burned out. I
It's
was
a lot.
burned out, and so I took a break, and then now coming back, I was like, I like challenge. I think I had already like know what I'm doing with real estate already. I
Yeah.
think I'm good on that part. I want to focus more on commercial because my client has more, like now I see more and more of my client have that need.
Yes.
31 exchange. They're growing. I've been
Oh,
growing.
yeah.
And so that's why I was like, you know what? Like I'm still doing residential with my return repeat clients. Don't get me
Yep.
wrong. My focus is commercial because with commercial real estate, Tricia, you know, it takes a while.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
bigger, more headache, bigger transaction, more headache, but less emotional because
Yes.
number talks.
Yep.
And I didn't want to do any more residential because I was kind of tired of emotional.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster, and
Yeah,
some of these
you
clients are
feel with your
relentless.
client, you go up and down with as well. Because knowing myself, I treat their transaction like my own.
Oh, yeah.
So having gone
Same.
through that like roller coaster, like high blood pressure, and
I can relate. Yes. And then when the market's like it has been, when like homes aren't selling, they're like calling you and texting, like, what are you not doing? It's like, I'm doing everything. It's not me, it's this damn market.
yeah, no, yeah. I've been to your training. Your training, I mean, putting as leader, putting the time to do training for your agent to succeed. I mean, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Been to your training. I've
Thank
told
you.
my agent to go to your training. It's your training with Paul, amazing.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
yes.
Our heart and soul is in it for sure. It's like we're not doing it for the money. We literally, and I do it because like I've been divorced twice, and my first divorce was in '08 when the mortgage industry crashed, and I
Oh,
was a lender at that time. So it was horrible, and I went through 3 freaking horrible years.
and London,
And oh, that was so bad. And then I put my real estate license back active full time in 2011, the beginning of 2011. And I just was like, no days off. I'm just going to work my face off. And I had littles. And it's like, I can't not take care of them, and my ex-husband wasn't helping at all. And no one ever helped me. Like no one showed me what to do. No one showed me how to get a listing. No one has ever to this day taken me on a listing appointment and is like, hey, say this. Like no one. I had to train myself, and I got in coaching programs, and I did all that. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about going with them, because it's like, oh, I'll go get that freaking listing for you. It's like, just call me, I'll go get it for you, because no one did that for me. And I don't want people to go through the things I've gone through.
Relate that to Tricia. I started out like from hard work. No,
Yeah.
no mentor, no one hold your hand. And I still remember the days that I first started in real estate. Like some days I was like crying to my husband. I was like,
Oh,
it's like a love-hate relationship.
yes.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
It was so hard. And now if I can turn back time, I would maybe like hire or join a group with a really good mentor.
Same.
Same. Because I was going step by step. I was going like literally step by and go from like having like the first listing that was $30,000 condo, and I wasn't happy for the money. I was happy for the chance to learn.
Oh yeah.
Like I took every transaction, everything. I went step by step. It was hard.
Yes.
And you having little ones and
oh yeah, by myself. Yeah. So my daughter is 21, and she just got her she just joined Real Sunday. And so she just started here with us yesterday. And it's so crazy because she's been in it her whole life. I was dragging her on showings. I drug her on to open houses. Like she's done everything, but she didn't want to be in real estate. But now it's come full circle. So it's super cool because now I'll get to do for her what no one ever did for me,
Yeah. So yeah, same with me. The reason why I think the revenue share is the best model for me is because I'm so passionate about like sharing my experience and knowledge, because no one did that for me.
Nope.
I learned and navigated, and I was like, if you can take in my advice, what I've been through, you will cut the learning curve and succeed right away.
Oh yeah.
And Tricia, like no one share their hard work earned knowledge that they paid with sweat and tears for.
No.
To me, knowledge is really more valuable than money.
Oh my gosh, yes, you can always make more money, but it's like getting around the right people that actually are there for you and pour into you and will help you get through, especially challenging times like we have right now, because it's like the world that we're in is so chaotic and the real estate industry feeds so much of it. And when things are crazy in our life, it brings a lot of stress, which is not healthy, you know?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
we, especially as moms, have to maintain this high level of like health and wellness and everything because we're running businesses and families, you
Oh
know?
yes. Oh my goodness. Yep. We all can relate. Like we got to juggle family, career, faith, all of that.
Oh yeah.
Like having so like with real estate, I find like it's a love hate relationship, right? So
Uh-huh.
like when a client appreciate you and all, and like when everything goes well, you're like, oh my god, like it's like a fuel for my continue service and
Yeah.
good my hard work and help you save every dime and penny for you. And then there's day you're like, oh, I don't want to do real estate anymore. This is
Yeah.
so hard, you know.
It's so damn hard.
And it's still hard. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like the more I do real estate, I find like it's so hard. Instead of getting easier, like yes, it's easier for me to navigate through transaction, but the more I do it, the more I feel like, hey, real estate is complicated. Don't you feel
Mhm.
that,
I
Trisha?
do. I do. And I think like every day, I know we're like waking up, especially on the residential side, and we're like, okay, surely the market's going to start to turn in our favor. And I believe it is starting to take that turn. I think it's going to be a lot slower than what we were anticipating, but I
Mhm.
do believe that I'm like, I think we're starting to come like when you're on a roller coaster ride, when you're finally getting to the top, and like hopefully we're going to be on a smooth sail at some point. But
Mhm.
commercial, you've had a lot of challenges in the commercial side as well, because interest rates when they're high everywhere.
Yeah, like the challenge with commercial is that yeah, the banks are not like they're shrinking.
Yeah.
For commercial, a lot of you don't know, for commercial, more of local banks lending and relationship.
Yep.
Um, so the banks has been shrinking their budget and they're not lending out anymore.
No,
Recent few years. I mean, it's just like the high interest rate in the market, it's like a stress on everyone,
it
everyone,
is.
the whole across. And so yeah, so not many people are buying, and if they buy, then it has to be a very, very good deal, like off
Yep.
market or something. And so, um, having to find a good off market commercial property is extremely hard.
I bet. Oh,
Finding
I bet.
the deal for investors, the toughest part is finding the deal and
Yeah.
able to negotiate that purchase to win over many other offer or many other investor wanting to get this good deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the hard part.
Have you seen like office buildings? Because they're, when COVID first hit, everybody was like, office buildings are going to go into foreclosure. We're going to see a crazy amount of foreclosures and a lot of opportunity. Have you seen that since COVID in the commercial side?
Yeah, I've seen office building a lot of vacancy rate. I don't specialize in office building. I do
Okay.
a warehouse and retail.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, but oh my God, in real estate, there's so many different specialty and niche that you can go. Like it's like mind blowing. There's no
Oh,
way
yeah.
to not make money in real estate. You just have to be determined,
Yep.
persevere, persistent, and hard work.
Mhm.
Then you can do it. But yeah, with like across the board, right now I do more like how I make my more money is commercial lease.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody have a need to lease
Oh
a
my gosh, yeah.
days. Now the listings, the listings sit there, and that list, or even residential, like
Yes.
listings sit there like months.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
with commercial, it has always been like, hey, like expected like at least a year or two, especially commercial land.
Which it just sounds crazy, doesn't it? It's like, I may get paid on this in 2 years from now. That's insanity, you know?
You just list it there. And the tough part about commercial real estate is that the money that you had to put in up front
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
to pay for LoopNet, CoStar, that not many new agent have the ability to invest.
No, they can't
Um,
afford it.
it's a risk that you put out like $200-300 a month per
Oh
listing,
yeah.
not knowing that you would get it back. So
No.
yeah, yeah, that's it. So that was why, like, not everybody goes straight to do commercial, because the higher the value, the more
Yeah.
risk as
Yeah.
an agent to take on.
And the timeline again from getting paid, at least on the residential side, normally you're going to get paid, but it's like, well, with the market that we've been experiencing, it may be a bit or never, it's
Yeah,
going to get better though.
it will. I mean, the market's up and down, and Tricia, you've been through the toughest time, 2007, 2008.
Honestly, I prefer that market over this one. That market at least was predictable. Like we knew the banks weren't loaning. We knew we had to get creative with financing. We knew we had to do certain things, but we would get homes sold and we would get properties under contract. This market is, I've told my clients, I'm like, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've never seen this market where there's no reason that buyers are not out buying right now. Like, interest rates are down. Sellers are negotiating. Like, what the hell are they waiting for? I can't figure this one out. It's
And having this NAR settlement that confused people as well.
totally
These poor seller, they're like, oh, so, well,
yes,
so offer. I
yeah,
mean, and I find myself like re-explaining real estate
yes,
over again.
over
And
and over.
challenging. That's
And Pearl, what we're seeing is some of the most unethical behavior of real estate agents ever in my career, ever. It's mind blowing to me because, with the code of ethics, you're supposed to put the consumer's needs above your own, period, whether you're representing the buyer or the seller in all things. And that seems to just gone by the wayside.
yeah, fiduciary. The
Yeah.
reason happened was, Tricia, like the last 3 years, when the 3-4 year, when the low interest rate,
Yeah.
everybody was like buying and like multiple offer, and people were
Yep.
like, there's no value to be added as agent. I stepped away at that time because I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, I can't deal with this. But like, yeah, people were just, hey, I get my license, I'm gonna get rich, because I mean, they're thinking agent, just open the door.
Yeah.
You bring no value, agent, you just a door opener.
Yep.
And so having these other people want to get their license, because they're like, oh, because you know how we're really good marketer, we're real estate agent, and we only show the good things on social media.
Yeah.
And these poor new people, they think it's easy, and so they're like, they want to get into real. So everybody get into real estate.
Yep.
I mean, looking around, like all my friends, and like, oh, you got a real estate license too, because it was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy during that market. And so a lot of these newbie did it part-time. They took
Yes.
this profession seriously.
Yep.
And so it smeared the image for all of us.
It did.
To me,
So in your office, are you going to have commercial and residential agents coming?
yes, we do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
right now, so my team, Synergy Commercial Group, the few agent in the group focus on commercial.
Okay.
That's all we do. And then, of course, like my downline, the Unparalleled Group team, the Unparalleled team, they focus on residential.
Okay. Does anyone go in and work from the office?
Yes, and so I was going to tell you, like, I'll soon have a system of like training weekly on commercial,
Yeah.
and we can collaborate, Tricia,
Yes.
with you, and I know you like tons of knowledge.
Yep.
Love your training, so we can like start doing more commercial, because a lot of agents do not understand
Mm-hmm.
commercial. They think they can't do it.
They can.
They can. Yeah, they can. They just need the right mentor.
They do. And it's crazy, Pearl, because commercial has been like forever a male dominant like
Yes.
industry.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Ah,
And so lately you have a lot of women and
Yep.
like minorities, and me going to this room of like all this commercial broker, big, white guy,
Yeah.
and me like petite, small Asian girl. It was like, ooh,
Oh yeah.
feel
But you know what I think, honestly,
Yeah.
because we do commercial too. It's like I think a lot of the men that do commercial, and I'm probably gonna get flack for this, but I think they've gotten like complacent and they don't return calls, they don't answer their phones, they don't even return damn email. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, we're going to come in here and we're going to take over. It's our time, Pearl.
And sometimes they're mean too.
Oh yeah.
Be like
Oh
super
yeah.
stern, and I was like, oh my god, like.
Yes, and it's crazy. We
And
keep
us as women, we bring our feminine energy in, and it's a different dynamic. But I
yep.
was like, hey, and I soften them up, on our transaction. I mean, they've been used to that,
But
And
do you notice that on the commercial side, the buyers and sellers are, like you said, there's not emotion. Like they're not blowing our phones up. They're not cussing us
oh no.
out. Like they're respectful. You know?
Well, they do curse. They do, but not emotional.
Yes.
They're more like they're more to me they value you when they hire you. They value your knowledge and professionalism,
Yeah.
because the buyer rep and the asking for commission has been forever like that for commercial.
Oh yeah.
This is new for residential, but we're
Right.
used in commercial. I was like, there's nothing new about this to us who do commercial, right?
Right.
We had to ask for a commission and negotiate it all day long, like with commercial. This is something new for residential, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
not new for commercial and for the rest of the world.
No, and people are freaking out about it.
I yeah. I didn't see any change at all about
No.
this commission thing.
It'll be good when you get like your office set up for training and all that, because I think there's such a need for it because there's so many people that are not being trained the right way, and they're at some of these old brokerages that aren't focused on training. They don't even know what AI is, and they don't even know what Chat GPT is. It's like these agents are going to be left behind if they don't learn this stuff and learn how to use it in their business.
Oh my God, talking about AI, real technology is like amazing. Like
Mhm.
it's so on, like dead on, like everything, like the referral network. They said,
Yep.
like I have my agent receiving like 3-4 referrals from the real workplace.
Yes, it's
Um,
getting set up right,
like it's legit, and the stock, Tricia. I mean, that's another residual right there.
Oh yeah.
The
Pearl,
stock,
when I
like,
started at Real, the stock was at $1.42 a share.
that's when you join, right? Or
Yes, yes.
oh, girl,
Isn't that crazy?
yeah. And now
And
it's
it's
like
just going to keep going up.
now what? Now
It's like over $6 a share.
oh my God, see. And then also having the new technology, like the banking
Yep.
side,
Oh
that's
yeah.
rolling out.
Yep.
I mean, I'm like, hey, I'm
That's going to be a game changer.
putting as much money in real stock as
Same.
I can right now.
Same. Like
Yeah.
I have my kids, like everything is in that because I know it's going to go up because this company is on a growth trajectory. It's now like the fastest paced publicly traded real estate company in history. And I was at EXP when EXP was at its growth, and Real is outpacing that now. So it's like the next 5 years with Real are going to be amazing. And I'm just super blessed that we're in it and we're in it together. And it's going to be cool because we can grow Houston together.
We need to spread this knowledge and
Yeah,
to all the other agents, because I was like, this is awesome. I
it
mean,
is.
it's great revenue share, having the stock, the vision, like it's right on point. Everything, the trainings by like the producers themselves.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody who had never done a transaction,
No, and a lot of the training, yeah, and a lot of the training is done by Sharon, who is the president of Real, and he's one of the smartest people in the freaking world. He's a genius. He's like so smart, and he's out still in the trenches with buyers and sellers because he wants to stay relevant in the market.
Yeah, you have to do it to train. You got to practice
Yeah.
preach, right?
Yeah.
And that alone, he didn't need to go out there and do.
No, he doesn't need the money. No.
And that I mean, and having been with Real this past month and a half, having the training and the support system, the culture,
Yep.
it's amazing. It's so great.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm looking forward to like all that we're going to build together, and we're going to be here to help these agents get through all that we're going through right now and then thrive, because that's what we do.
Yay! best day.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on today, Pearl.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Tricia. And we'll continue to collaborate.
We will. Hey, where can people get a hold of you if they want to learn more about you or your business or real?
You just Google Pearl No. Right? You just
Yeah.
Google Pearl No. And I'm like, I'm on Zillow, HAR, whatever,
Yep.
like a 5-star review. Proof.
She's here to help you guys, like
Yeah.
commercial, residential. She's got an office. Like she's here to train and help you guys. And she'll just explore whatever you need. Ask questions. They always help.
Yes, I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank
Yep.
you for being here, Pearl. You guys have an awesome day today.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.